Well, hello. We are live. John Lavenia here on Fun Friday, October 8th, 2021. Hi, Daisy. Good to see you. I am going to see you in person in a couple of days. That's right. That's going to happen. So glad to be here with everyone. I think we're going to have a bit of an abbreviated session today since it looks like a lot of people are on the road already. Daisy, you hitting the road? Yeah, soon. I can't hear you, but let me say hi to Daisy real quick.
On Sunday, we're headed out.
Aha. Okay. Well, I'm headed out in about an hour and a half. So, because I got a speaking engagement out there this weekend, and then I'll be seeing Daisy in the desert. For anyone who's not a member here, and if you're seeing this very intimate broadcast on YouTube, we like to get together not only on Zoom but also on in person. We haven't done that yet here in the United States. A couple people have met up here and there. A couple people in England as well, but we are going to do that, and it's going to be fun. That being said, we've got an abbreviated schedule for today. This is our only event on the calendar. Be Heard is suspended for today, as I will be somewhere between Phoenix and Las Vegas on my motorcycle, and I don't host conference calls on motorcycles. All right, good times. But I did have something I wanted to share with everyone here today. I am not dressed in my Hawaiian gear, but that's because I'm still packing. There's motorcycle luggage on the floor, and I got to figure out how to fit everything I need for the next week. But I have, I was thinking about if there was one thing. I had somebody ask me the other day, John, is there one thing that you could recommend for all entrepreneurs that would, clench the success? Because we have struggled and we need the answer, right? So people, I get the one thing question every now and then. And I got it the other day. And so I was thinking about the one thing. Hey, Edward, good to see you. And I was actually asked this by a magazine interviewer once as well. They said, John, is there one thing that you could leave our audience with, the one best piece of advice? And the advice I gave was decide who you are and then be that. Oh my goodness, John, that's amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, John Lavenia. Okay, great. So what does that mean? What does that actually mean? That means to have some damn integrity. The integrity to what? Integrity to your inner vision of who you are, to be that, and then do it, and then you'll have it, right? Be, do, and have in that order. That's not a new concept around here. We kick it around a lot. But to decide who we are, decide, not just, I'll try, maybe, I'm kind of vague. No, we got to get unvague about this. We got to decide, decision, right? Decide, cut off, decision, incision, decision, right? Cut off. We've got to decide, which is not infinite, it is finite. Finite, right? We've got to define. Okay, so now that we've got those words, right? Who we are, who we're showing up as, and then be that, meaning have integrity to that. In other words, be consistent with the knowingness that of what we've decided. I think for a lot of people, where they get off course, I'll speak for myself, is I forget who I am. I may have decided, and that may have been yesterday, and maybe today I forgot because I was seduced by some other appearances, or here's what I should be thinking about, or here's who I should be, or whatever the story is, right? Hey, Mandy. Hey, Linda. And so I didn't maintain my integrity. I was out of integrity to myself, to my inner vision of who I decided to be. So I've got to decide again. Now, some of these things that we've decided that we are, and we've actually developed habits around, some of these things we could put the actions on automatic, right? So I don't have to force myself, to do high integrity actions, on things that have become habitual. They are habits, and so I can just, be, and then the doing pretty much happens on autopilot. And then, I have the results that I intend to have. But if we intend to advance, this is something we got out of Dorothea Brand's book, for those of you in our book study group, not the Books for Britain group, because they are studying Integrity is Everything by John Lavenia. I see you, Mandy. By the way, that's suspended next week. Mandy's going to be traveling. They'll be back to conclude the book the following week. That happens on Wednesdays. But the Monday night session, where I typically host, which Stuart Wild will be hosting this week in my stead because I'll be on the road. Okay, so that'll be fun. The new book, by the way, is Atomic Habits. It's in the members site. There's links, to go get it from Amazon or whatever. But we read in Dorothea Brand, Wake Up and Live. We read about how, the idea of settling, and she used so many great words. What an amazing author she is. I hope you guys got a lot out of that book. But the idea that we could rely only on habits is also folly, because then where's the advancement? So yes, habits good. Yes. Consistency. Yes. Okay. But evolution also good, right? Progress good. So we can make new decisions and decide that we are the advancing person. So not only do I have these decisions that are on autopilot, doing and having that level of performance, which is arguably better than, unresourceful habits. Actually, not arguably. I think the case is closed on that, right? Right living. Yeah, good. Integrity. Nice. Deliberate. Nice. Okay. But how much higher can we go? And are we resting on our laurels? And that's what she was urging us not to do. So I get to decide again. So if it's true, this is, I guess, the clincher for all this, and I had no idea this was going to come out of my mouth. If it's true that I could forget my decisions and fall back into, maybe not doing the right thing or not, being who I said I was, right? If that's true, then is it not also true that I could forget my decisions, which have limited me only to this level of performance? And since I'm forgetting my decisions anyway, well, let's deliberately make better ones. You see, I think that's the thing where a lot of people have, if they'll look at the negative side of, oh, you know what, I got off course. Right, that could be a negative. But could it also be a positive? See, there's that law of polarity, right? There's a heads, there's a tails. So if it could be potentially negative that I got off course, could it also be potentially positive that I got off course? Only if I'm thinking in terms of advancement. Okay, I had my routine, and you've seen this happen in your life. I know you have. My routine got impinged upon by some urgency, which happened to also be an important factor for a major advancement. Okay, well, I'm off my routine today. Does that mean you're out of integrity? No, that means that you are deciding to be the person who can adapt and overcome, to pivot, to meet those challenges, to create even higher levels of advancement for yourself and for anyone who gets to be in your midst. Remember what we read in Science of Getting Rich, Wallace D. Wattles, the advancing man or woman, right? The advancing person is the one that attracts others to them because they are about increase. And all life is about increase. And if you can demonstrate that you are about increase in your life, well, you're going to attract others who naturally are about increase. And it's not a forced thing. People ask about, sales, right? Which is the area that I'm exceedingly familiar with, right? How do we, I'm seeing Mandy put numbers here. 1042. I don't know what those numbers are, Mandy, but they look very interesting. Okay, numbers in the chat. Don't distract me. Okay, so what was I saying? Right. So we have advancement, right? And we have the attraction of people who may want to do business with you. Okay, so what could we say in terms of your ability to convert, let's say, leads or traffic into actual customers, business partners, referral sources, right? How could we cause that to occur more readily? Well, we can simply be about advancement, and then people will naturally be drawn to you. And then there's not so much convincing. Think of it like this: if you and I had an antagonistic relationship where you were suspicious of me, right? Or I was in some way invalidating towards you or your purposes, right? I think you would agree that you'd be much less apt or predisposed to buy from me, right? That's just, there it is. And yet so many people, like even so-called salespeople, they attempt to force transactions where they haven't built rapport or they haven't gained, some agreement or some affinity, because they're just running on their own agenda, forcing, and they're not actually about advancement. They're like a rat looking for cheese, right? Trying to get. Does that mean advance? Get? No. Advancing means, putting out and growing and serving and expansion, not pulling in. And so they look amiss, right? So they want the one thing. They want the secret elixir or something that's going to cure all the other habitually unresourceful ways of being, doing, and having. The one thing. Well, the one thing is them. So I'll lean back on that advice. That's the best advice I could think of. If there was one thing, the truth is there's do everything, right? If there was one thing, it would be do everything that you know to do, and advance, right? And that is in multiple ways. So is it not also true then, if the person who can actually be repulsive, and some people are, to their customer, right? Is it not also true that you could be attractive? Right. There's that polarity again. Just this week. Okay. My wife Shannon and I, as you know, we have a branding and marketing agency, and that's mostly her thing. And she has her courses that she publishes, including, not just things that are available for the public, but like private, high level coaching, and consulting services, right, for people that are looking to build their business online, websites, branding, mechanisms, funnels, etc. And she had just yesterday or the day before, customer referred by someone else who has obviously a high level of affinity for Shannon. Hey, you should check out my friend Shannon's stuff. Oh, who's Shannon? Right, here's the website. Go click the thing. Check out the thing she's doing online. Oh, would you like a consultation? They're on the phone. Bam, new client. And I don't mean like $1,000 or $5,000. I mean thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. New client. Is that mysterious? Not to me. Not to me. And those of you who know Shannon, which I think is everybody here in this room, right? Well, yeah, of course, Shannon. I mean, Shannon's great. There it is. There it is. There it is. Do people say that about you? I could say that about each of you. I think for a lot of people, when we talk about deciding who you are and just being that, if we're looking to advance, I think the main thing would just be making yourself known. I mean, if you're good, hey, I'm good, right? Well, then go ahead and put yourself out there, right? Think about expansion, outflowing, out, putting out, not trying to get, but putting out. And doing that with a relaxed confidence, a posture, a flippancy, right? Because of your inner knowingness of who you are, which you decided to be, and that you're about advancement. And anyone who is fortunate enough to confront you, well, happy days for them, right? They just found someone who is about advancement. That's what's coming up for me today, guys. And I hope you find food for action with that, right? Because it's one thing to theorize about this stuff. It's another thing to find ways to put it to use, even if it's just a reminder. We've talked about affirmations here. I'm not like a big affirmation junkie or anything. I, pick one that you like, whatever. Remind yourself. Reminders, right? Those are nice. But one could be everyone in contact with me advances, or I am about advancement, or I am the advancing man or woman, right? I don't know, pick some words that are nice for you, print them out and hang them over your computer monitor or something. Reminder, reminder, reminder. Or maybe a picture of what it looks like to be the advancing man, the advancing woman, right? Maybe it could even be like clip art or something. If you've got, like, you go to Pixabay or any of these free clip art sites, or I mean, for that matter, if you're just using it for yourself, you can go to like Shutterstock or some of these paid stock photo sites, right? And you could just get a sample and print it out, and that's like a sample of the successful business meeting, right? The handshake, the contract being signed, all of this speaks of what? All of this speaks of advancement. You can even search this. You can just go to your favorite search engine. In my case, DuckDuckGo, right? And you could just type whatever keywords, and then get the results. And then there's like different categories. You want web pages, you want images. Oh yeah, I want images, right? And just go find a picture that, reminds you. And if you want to get, really high tech with it, you download the picture, you throw it onto your favorite desktop publishing software. I'm on a Mac, so that would be Pages. And then you just make some words with it, right? So there's the picture and there's the words and the reminder. And you hang it on the wall. And you know what? We did this with the minivan we got, which we didn't even have to pay for. I think I mentioned this before, right? So Shannon decided she wanted this Chrysler Pacifica Limited, beautiful minivan, and that we wanted this company to pay for it, that we do some work with. And so I downloaded some pictures off of the Chrysler website. I made a little collage. I printed it out on a standard piece of letter paper, and I put it, the new minivan, paid for by the company. And within 90 days, we had it paid for by the company. Exactly the one pictured. I knew she wanted a white one. I wasn't sure about the interior, different color leather or whatever. It was exactly the one that I printed out. Do with that what you will. So is there one thing? Yeah, do all these things. That's the one thing. Do it all. But you're not going to do it if you haven't decided who you are. So be that. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being here. Thoughts on this? I know we've got an intimate group here today. No need to raise hands if anybody's got some ideas. I am going to be seeing Daisy and Linda and Virginia here in a couple of days once I'm done with my speaking engagement in Las Vegas, which I'm jumping on the Harley as soon as we're done here and I'm done packing, and I got one other session I got to host. And then I'm going to be hitting the road for a beautiful 5.5 hours on the highway. Oh my goodness. No phones, no computers, no talking, no questions, just me and the desert. Oh.
I'm going to text you while you're driving.
What was that, Virginia?
I'm going to text you while you're driving.
It's not going to work. My phone is always on vibrate, and my Harley vibrates way more than my phone. I don't even feel it. So.
All righty. Well, have a safe trip. Linda's taking off today, too. She's flying into Denver, and then both of us are flying out in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Daisy, you're taking off, what, Sunday?
Yes.
Yep, Sunday.
Oh,
Beautiful.
we're going to have a great time.
I'm so excited to see you guys.
The weather looks like it's going to be perfect, too.
What?
The weather's going to be mid 70s and no rain or anything. So
nice.
Autumn in the desert. I'm telling you, nothing beats it. Here in Arizona, we probably won't see a cloud for 3 months. And then again in the springtime. So autumn and spring are dry. Summer, thunderstorms that move through. And winter, you get some winter rains, a little drizzle here and there, nothing major. Anyway, now is the time to ride. All right. Anybody else? Any other thoughts?
John, how long is the drive from where you're at to Vegas? How much?
5.5 hours.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Nice day's ride. It's good. It's good. I tell you what, it's therapeutic.
Remember to take a break,
Yeah.
Take that little potty break, that little rest break.
Potty, fuel up, right?
Fuel.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I know what to do.
All
do.
righty.
Okay. Very good. Unfortunately, I don't have any of Virginia's Pinola cookies, so I had to take some beef jerky and apples and fig bars.
And I'm sorry you're not going to have any because I'm not making any before I leave.
No.
Oh.
Okay. Very good, my friends. We're going to go ahead and wrap up with that. Thank you. Have an awesome weekend. I will see you back here on, actually, Shannon's hosting on Monday. So it's going to be a weird week. For as long as this mastermind group has run, longer than this group has run, because a lot of you met me when I was doing, some consulting work with one of the e-commerce programs. I'm consulting with another program right now, but I've never taken a day off in years. Even if I'm traveling. So, but in this case, I have to, because Virginia and Daisy and Linda and I are going to be on the range at exactly showtime. So we'll see how next week goes. It should be a lot of fun. In fact, so will Glenn. Glenn will be as well. So Wednesday, we got to get somebody to cover for Glenn. So whoever wants to host, let me know.